Howdy, and welcome to Broken Tool Garage. So if you watch my channel a little bit, you'll know that I try to do a video every week, and sometimes I have a little bit different topics. This week's going to be like that. So let's just do something a little different, and let's see, what should we do? Let's rebuild a parts washer. Have y'all ever rebuilt the parts washer? I haven't, but that sounds like fun. So let's just go see what we got over here. Okay, I have a parts washer. This is just something that was given to me by my old neighbor whenever I moved in over here, and it needed a pump and just a little bit of cleanup work on there, right? So that's what I'm going to do. It's nothing fancy. It's just your plain Jane, probably Harbor Freight or whatever, parts washer. So it just has a little bit of areas that need some cleaning up, and that's what we're going to do today. And get the box right here, get the new pump in it, and we'll see if it works. Have the new pump. I got the pump, a filter, and a brush from Zoro for, I don't know, I think it's like 40 bucks or something like that, right? So going to get that put in. Also going to get this cleaned up. Here's the product I'm going to be using, the rust encapsulator. And I have my favorite Van Sickle, a whole gallon of, let's see, what we got here? Gloss Massey Ferguson Red. Now doesn't that just sound like a cool color to have on there? And that should match pretty good. If not, it's a parts washer. Okay, got it apart. Let's look at the pump. So it broke in there. There's a little mount right here where it slides over. So that's why they have that wired on and everything. So it looks like this thing's kind of seen better days here. All right, AP 2000. Anyway, it's just a 3-wire hookup. Oh yeah, this wire is all brittle and everything. Just those solvents and stuff get in there, right? So, not going to be reusing that. So we got the crud down in here, but I'm clean all that off and then get my coating on there. So now it's the fun part of getting everything clean. Got my hardwares in my little bin right here. I did lose one nut because I was playing around with this thing earlier and lost one, but that's easy. It's just a 7mm bolt. I can take these and go get another one, put it back together, right? Okay, so we got the tube here. Looks to be in good condition. Oh, no, all it is. And this is what holds the filter in there, which I got over there. So that probably just, yep, slides right out. I'm gonna slide my new filter in there when I get ready. Ew. Looks like that needs to be cleaned as well. Here's the filter. Come with that kit from Zoro. That's pretty nice. I usually don't buy from them. They kind of sound a little sketchy, but yeah, they're legit. So yeah, there we go. New filter. All right, well, I'm just gonna get to cleaning. All right, I'm just kind of finishing up getting this clean here. What I used was something a little more aggressive than what I normally would, but I know I'm going to be brushing the Eastwood stuff on and the paint on, right? So I just used a flapper wheel that got a lot of the paint off and rust off, and I'm just kind of hitting it with some 80 grit sandpaper right quick, just to kind of, you know, touch it up a little bit and make sure all the loose stuff is off. Oh, before I hit it with that, I used my wire brush just to knock the big heavy stuff off, and just come back and did that. So I still need the inside, still got to do the inside of that down in there. I've already hit it with the wire brush, so I just need to come in with that, and then probably get me a fresh piece of sandpaper and touch that up and set it aside, because I want to have everything ready to paint before I open this up. So these cans, I have not used this product before, but I hear these cans, once you open them up, if you have anything around a lid or something, it'll just glue that lid on and you're not going to get the lid off. So I have some ideas on that, how to prevent that from happening. And we're gonna see. Next time I go to use it, we'll see anyway. That might be a little ways off. Actually, I got the RAM charger over there. That's gonna be the next thing. So I'm just gonna finish this up. I already did the outside cover, same thing. Just, you know, it is a little bit of a rough finish, but like I said, I'm trying to get the big stuff off, and I'm not getting all the rust off, because that's what the rust encapsulator's for, right? So if I was doing paint, I'd do it differently. I'd get all the rest off, but we're going to see. It's a parts washer. So this is my test run for how this product works, and flows and everything, how to use it before I get onto the RAM charger with it, right? All right, well, I'm just going to continue cleaning. I'm almost done with that. Let's just take a peek over here at the basin of the parts washer. Okay, I decided to take it apart, and one of the reasons is I'm not going to be able to get to that and to really do a good job on this. This is pretty thin metal right here, so it won't take much to rust that out. And some of the legs actually have some holes in it, so I'll have to do some modification to that. But yeah, down here, those bolts are rusted, so these two are rusted. So I'm sure the other two are, so I'll have to get in there and get those cut out. Which is why I didn't want to take it apart, but I need to take it apart. There's no way to really get in here and get this done otherwise. Yep, raining outside, so a little bit thunderstorming, so this is a good evening to do dirty, messy stuff. All right, so I'm working on the bottom right there. This part right here had rust on it, so I got that kind of cleaned and sanded down. I've already done the box, kind of hit the rust spots on there. So we see down here, a little ugly, so what I think I'm going to do on these holes, I'm going to tape the inside and then use my fiber fill to cover those holes. I could get away with just taping that, like tape the inside and use the rust encapsulator on it, but I'd rather have something a little more firm. So I know that fiber fill will grip pretty good, and I can always put stuff over the top of that. So I'm only going to hit the holes. You can kind of see them in there where the light's poking through. That's how I found them. Oh, another experiment there. So Dynaglass fiberglass filler. I like this stuff. It's not Bondo. Well, Bondo's a brand anyway. But this stuff, this is good stuff right here. All right, now doesn't that just look nice and happy right there with that good rust preventative primer on there? I just brushed it on with my foam brush. And one of the tricks to doing this is you kind of put a layer on there just to get it good and wet. And once it starts kind of getting that boundary layer on there with your, when it's bonding to the metal, it starts to thicken up and get a little tacky. Then you can come back and kind of clean it up a little bit, you know. Had some areas right there. But now I'm just kind of cleaning it up. And this paint is made Van Sickle or, you know, Rust-Oleum. I'm sure it's the same thing. It will lay out. So when we're done, we probably won't, unless I have some really bad areas, I probably won't have too much standing up, but we're going to scuff it before we shoot it anyway. Now, one of the things that I noticed was it looked pretty clean all the way around, other than right along here. It's got a little bit bad rust on it, so I'll probably take that down to the metal right in there. But I don't think I'm going to put the primer on there. What I'm going to do is just probably scuff all the way around and shoot it. Minus here is going to be taken down pretty good to get rid of that rust. And that'll take care of all my outside other than the top of the lid. From there, let's see. Well, actually, we got our shelf to do over here. So, not sure. It's cleaned. So I'll probably just go ahead and just shoot that. Probably have all my pieces out and shoot all these all at once. I still got the legs to clean out, which is one of the reasons. Get it out of there. Yeah, no, that's nice and yucky, you know. But this is one of the reasons I pulled the legs off. They just look nasty. So that's why we're doing all this. But it's good because I probably won't ever have to come back and deal with this again. But anyways, that's where we're at with the prime. That's going to need probably a good 3 or 4 days before I paint it. Make sure it's full cured, given it's that thick. And I'll just, whenever I get ready to paint, I'll just use a red Scotch-Brite on there and paint it. We got a nice spring day out. All the windows are open, the doors open. It's just feeling real good. So let's just have a little bit of fun right here with this. All right, got my brush out here with this black paint. And I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to come over here and start out right where this hole is, right here. It's got a yellow dot in the middle. Let's just go ahead and start coming around here. Just brush it on around. Like that, right? There we go. There we go. We're going to get that right up to that lip right there. And we're going to call this our sunshine in our painting that we're doing today. Now, I know that it's not your typical sunshine. I would call it a black hole sun, but the hole, you know, it's got the yellow in there. So I guess what we could call that right there, instead of a black hole sun, we could just call it a black sunshine, right? All right, now that we got our pretty little sunshine in there, let's set our foreground a little bit different. Let's just come over here and do like a little bit of a stream coming all the way down and across right here. And this will set our foreground from our background right there. Look at that. Isn't that just a pretty little stream? Let's do a little bit of a gathering, a little pull right there. Just splotch that down in there real good like that right there. All right, so we're starting to make it look good, and we got to get a little bit more paint right here. Now we got to add our trees. We got to have our trees in here. Look at that. There's our tree. Let's just add some branches in there. Right. Oh, look at that. There we go. There we go. Now we got a tree right there. Right now. And we're doing our sky, and we just got to have some birds in our sky, right? So let's just add a nice little bird right there. That's going to be a big fat bird. Look at that right there. We're going to get there, you know. He's flying in right there, and you know, we're going to come in. This is going to be a big foreground bird right here, right? Let's just do our bird. All right, there we go. We got a really big bird flying in, so that's setting our foreground. Let's do a couple of birds in the back over here. All right, there we go. We got another little bird, and let's make some clouds for. Let's do some little poofy little clouds over here for our bird. Look at that. Now we got something really good going on right here. Okay, got a little bit of rocky outcroppings in there. Got a cloud, and I'm coming in here, and I'm going to paint that back in black right over here. Just come through, just do that whole thing, that whole back over here in black. We'll come right up to that line. If we get a little over, that'll be okay. That'll be okay. We want to cover it good though. There we go. That back in black. All right. So that little bird, that bird looks almost like a pterodactyl. Let's see what we can do over here. We've got to do another bird over here. Oh wow, that's more like how to make a monster. That's not exactly how I wanted to, but like I said, well, I'll call it how to make a monster. There we go. All right, working on this little bird right here. Wow, compared to that, I bet that bird's saying I'll fly away. Voila, it's a masterpiece. I think I'm going to call it Black Betty. All right, got it up and running, got my solution done. So what I went with, I did a little bit of research and I went with the Harbor Freight degreaser. So I asked one of the managers there, hey, what are people using for the parts washer? Because I have a Harbor Freight parts washer, right? It's an old red one. And he said this at a 1:20 ratio. You know, and I asked, well, have you had any problems, you know, anything rusting out or breaking down, any issues? And he said no issues except when people try to run the diesel or kerosene or whatever mixes in there. I guess that's because the pump isn't quite made for that. You'd have to have a different pump. So anyways, that's what I did. I mixed it at, put 10 gallons of distilled water in with about, well, we got about a third, maybe a quarter of the gallon in there. And I'll see how that works. I can always bump it up a little bit if I want to, right? Distilled water, just because it doesn't have anything else in it. It's just water. So that's another thing you can use in your coolant systems is distilled water with your antifreeze. That'll help keep some of that gunk out of there, right? Okay, well, there we go. That'll sum that one up. And as we're rolling out, I'll show it working and everything. That's always a good thing right there. I do want to note something. Using and this is one reason I didn't want to use this, using this degreaser right here, the kind of a soap or whatever base thing, you have to wash your parts off of this stuff because it is corrosive and it will eat into the metal. So you got to clean that off again. So I have a bucket of water over there to kind of rinse them from this stuff. And then what I've gone and done was I've used a little bit of Marlboro Mystery Oil, a little bit of ATF, and a little bit of my used engine oil. I'd say use engine oil just for this or various other uses, right? So I can spritz it down with this when I'm done with it, and they'll put an oil coating on whatever and keep it from rusting, hopefully, right? No, it'll work out fine. Plenty of people use this stuff, so I think I just had a little bit of, first time I've ever owned a parts washer and put fluid in it. I've used them plenty of times, but I just used whatever fluid was in it. So first time, so we'll see. If I run into any problems, I can always do a follow-up video with it, but I really doubt it. I'm being very cautious on this. So anyways, well, let's just get the cleaning parts, and I'll see you next time on Broken Tool Garage.